Capitão Portugal.
Capital. I'm trying. There's a little tilde over the top of the A that we can't see, and that's the sound. So it means he's Captain Portugal. Let's just make it easy on ourselves. Yeah. Welcome, Captain Portugal from the NOCAP EU clan. He is going to be our instructor today for the Des Moines. Thank you so much for taking your time. We obviously have clan battles tonight, so we'll get this going because I think it's like in an hour and a half for you guys or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So thanks for having me first, but yeah, indeed, we are a bit on a tight schedule because just as this ends, the CB session starts for the EU server. So that's why we also have an early timing for the NA folks.
Yeah, I had to set an alarm on Saturday, so thanks a lot. You're the best. Love you.
Okay, so who am I? I'm Capitão Portugal, or just Cap, for those of you who cannot pronounce Capitão.
That's me.
I have been playing the game since it started, essentially, but I was very absent at the beginning because I was still quite involved with World of Tanks. And only when I quit World of Tanks did I really dedicate a lot to World of Warships. Still, I don't have a lot of games, just over 3,000, but still pretty good stats overall, I think. Of course, you are welcome to take a look and prove my super Unicum status. And yeah, just happy to be here and talk about the DM, which is my favorite ship in the game. For a really long time was the only ship I played in CBs, and yeah, I hope I have good insights to share today. So just to give a quick overview of what I want to talk about today, it's essentially about the ship, but also about key positions that you might want to play in your cruisers, because the DM, in its essence, it's a ship that you need to play with cover. If you go out and about in the middle of the open, especially now with the amount of 4.57 guns that you have in the game, you're going to get shredded. So the DM is essentially a cap contester, plays near an island next to a cap, makes good use of the radar and the good maneuverability that it has so that it can navigate around the islands very closely and move back and forward out and into cover in like with a good amount of speed and maneuverability to try to minimize the time it's exposed and just improve the survivability. If we take a quick look at key stats, hit points, nothing amazing. Torpedo belt, almost non-existent. Of course, everyone knows that the reload time is really good in the DM, and with the 6 guns in the front and 5.5 seconds, it has quite a lot of DPM, especially when you use the super heavy US AP on broadsides of cruisers, mostly. AA defense, I don't know. Since that they reworked AA, I can't read these numbers, so I won't talk about that. It's just not what it used to be. It used to be a really good AA platform. Nowadays, you get shit on by CV, so it is what it is. Decent maneuverability, rudder shift time is quite decent, almost on par with some DDs. And concealment, 10.9. If we want to take a look at the equipment that I'm running on this, I haven't changed my build for the Des Moines to like make use of the lighthouse build or anything like that, because I don't think it works for Des Moines. As you guys, as I've already said, like I still play behind islands, I don't play in the open and so on. So I don't really think the lighthouse build makes a lot of sense. I still play it a lot in its role for CBs, which is just to cap contest, cap control, and close support instead of trying to do weird stuff at range, because the ballistics are also not very good at range. So what I'm running on this is main armaments mod 1, just to make sure mostly that your turrets stay alive. because it's very common when you have like a DM on DM fight, or if you're fighting other cruisers with good pen on their guns, that they're going to try to knock out your turrets. So once those are gone, you essentially can't do anything. So trying to keep them alive as long as possible. I have the special mod for the radar duration, just so that I have a few more seconds so that everyone can shoot into the cap, and I can shoot myself into whatever I'm detecting. I have aiming systems mod 1. You could maybe go for the traverse speed because it is not that amazing. It's 25 seconds without it. So 25 seconds is not bad, could be better, but all in all, I prefer the aiming systems mod 1 because of the extra accuracy. I have propulsion here. You could go for steering, but propulsion synergizes really well with the last slot. In the meantime, concealment, just to make sure that I can navigate well into those islands and be as stealthy as possible doing it, as well as taking advantage of the 10-kilometer radar. So I minimize the gap between my detectability and the radar so that there's as few kilometers or meters as possible between me being detected and me being able to radar whatever is detecting me. And lastly, I have the legendary mod that gives minus 20% rudder shift time and minus 50% the time that it takes to accelerate. And that synergizes well with this 50% because, I mean, it's already a really good thing. And yeah, so radar, please don't choose any of these. I've seen people trolling me saying, yeah, you should play the true meta, the Des Moines spotter. Please don't, just keep to the radar. Defensive AA, it's kind of useless nowadays. If I'm playing on CBs with aircraft carriers, I might consider this, but other than that, for randoms and everything else, I'll just prefer to be able to spot whatever is behind an island, or just see some torps if I'm making a move between islands and maybe there's a DD gap, torpedo in the gap between islands. Any questions so far?
Can you about the legendary mod one more time? I kind of glitched out a minute. But why did you choose that over a regular 6 slot?
So I choose this because, especially before the nerf, this was really strong. Like, you could essentially just halt the ship wherever it was by going full reverse, and you would dodge everything. So this was great for just engine dodging. It is still really good. It's no longer overpowered as it kind of was back then, but I still prefer this over, say, a range mod, because it really helps when you are playing around islands and when you need to like peek forward to shoot whatever it is that's contesting a cap and that you're raiding the cap, and then maybe you need to move back as quickly as possible. So I still really like to have that maneuverability and just essentially being able to go forward and backwards almost instantly thanks to this. I would never go for like AA mods. No. This is like third best option because you don't want to increase your reload or like your traverse speed, especially when you're playing a Des Moines, because you rotate the turrets a lot. So you can't really count on rotating the ship if you're next to an island. You need to make the turrets move. And 12 seconds in the reload time is not that significant when your reload is already like 5.5. So it's not as if you're going to miss a salvo or something like that. And if you don't have the legendary mod, I would definitely recommend you going for range, because the range on the Des Moines is quite limited. It's 15.8. And it could get tricky, especially nowadays with the meta where everyone is just defending their spawns or whatever it is that they're doing nowadays. And you don't have the range. So I've found myself in quite a lot of situations where I just need to make some YOLO rush that I know I'm going to die, but if I want to get anything done in that game, I just need to do it. Because of my limited range, if you want to try to avoid that a little bit, you can go for main battery range. The problem that you're going to have there is that at the longer ranges, it's going to be tricky to hit your shots, or like you need to lead very well, because if you don't, then you're going to miss a lot of what you're shooting at, especially if they're actively dodging. Did that answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Alrighty. In terms of the captain skills, so as you can see, I only have a 19-point captain. I haven't been playing this ship that much, so I haven't grinded the other equivalent 19-point captain just to have 2 more points. What do I have here? This is like basic Des Moines clan battles build that is still using essentially the old captain skills that we used to have before the rework. I don't make use of any of the new ones, and I'll explain that later why. So to start, I have John Doe, which is the old Steven Seagal inspired captain that they lost the license, so now it's John Doe. So we have some special skills for this guy. That's extra traverse speed for the main batteries, and also a really, really good gun feeder, which they changed the name. I don't know what was the old name, but essentially it allows you to switch the battery, the main battery ammo type that you have loaded in less than like the 5 seconds that this has, right? So if we have this skill, it takes you about like just a little bit over a second to switch, which can be really helpful, especially if you go around an island, or if someone goes around an island on you and they're showing broadside, and if it's a cruiser and you want really to punish that, it's great because you have this opportunity to just in 1 second or a bit more, you just switch to AP. After that, I have priority target. You're playing a cruiser, especially a squishy cruiser nowadays, so it's always good to have this. I have the superintendent because I want to have extra radars mostly. Extra heal is also useful. Extra hydro, not as relevant, but especially for the radars, it's super helpful when you're contesting caps. And adrenaline rush because, yeah, I mean, this is a DPM ship, so if you can boost that DPM, you definitely should. Lastly, in the 4-point skills, I have Concealment Expert, once again, to make sure that we minimize the distance that you're spotted and whatever your radar can cover. And I have RPF. RPF might be a bit of an unusual choice. This is mostly still linked to my CB gameplay, because as I said, I was the guy who was playing CB, or who was playing Des Moines for NOCAP EU for many, many seasons, and even before I joined NOCAP. So I have very much of a CB mentality when I'm playing this ship. So if you have RPF, this is great, because if you're playing next to an island, especially an island in the middle of the cap, where you can be easily rushed, it's super helpful to have RPF because it will allow you to know if someone is suddenly closer than whatever was in the RPF before, and if you're being rushed from the other side of the island. If your radar is on cooldown, or if your hydro is on cooldown and you don't have the visibility because there's an island covering that flank for you, this lets you know if someone is rushing you. Also, if you're making a more aggressive push and you're spotted by a DD, this allows you to prepare the guns for as soon as you turn on the radar, you know where the DD is going to be, and you just start shooting as soon as possible. So that's the 2 main reasons why I have RPF. There's a case to be made that top grade gunner would be very good, because this gives you 8% reload for like whenever you have a ship within your standard detectability range, so within like the 10.9. And because your standard detectability range and the radar are so close, whenever you radar and you spot someone, you would essentially get 8% reload boost. But I think at 4 points is a little bit too expensive, even with, like, I would prefer have this build and not have this, and not have top grade gunner. than to switch around anything that I have right now just to have this upgrade. Because at 4 points, it's super expensive. If it was 3 points, I would definitely take it when I get the 21 points. At 4, I think it's a bit too expensive. So what I would take instead would either be the heavy AP shells, because it gives your AP from 5,000 alpha to 5,250. I mean, it's not amazing, but it could work. Ideally, however, I would probably go with a fire pyrotechnician, a pyrotechnician, which gives you extra fire chance. It's always good when you're spamming, especially against BBs, that you might have a harder time pen, because your pen is not that amazing. I mean, it's 34 millimeters, and with the amount of Russian ships that we have nowadays, or heavily armored ships, it might not be enough sometimes. So improving fire chance, I think it's a really good option. It's what I'm intending to do. And then you have 1 point left out of the 21, where I'd probably just go with like incoming fire alert or last stand, like one of these two. Last stand sometimes might help if you hit a torp. Incoming fire alert, if I already have priority target, might be a little bit overkill, but I mean, I have a point to spend somewhere, so might go there. So just to summarize, this is what I recommend right now. With additional points, get pyrotechnician and one of these two, whichever floats your boat. If not, get heavy AP, but the gain is quite limited, like 250 is not much. Any questions on the Captain build? Alrighty. Then last thing that we have here is exterior. As some of you might have noticed already, I have the steel camo. This instantly gives you 10% bonus on everything. No, just kidding. This just gives you the normal detectability range stuff, the dispersion stuff, and then some extra stuff that you might just, like the important bits you can just get with a normal camo. This is just me flexing.
Showing off his Kim Kardashian level steel that he had in port that he could just.
I actually don't have that much, but it's just I'm not interested in any of the steel ships in that I can get. So I'm a very poor NOCAP member because I don't play this game as addictively as some other members. But yeah, going into the signals, we have a very standard build. If I'm playing CBs, I might take, since there are no CVs in most of them, I would remove AA stuff and put it into RAM, because it might always be helpful to RAM another cruiser or a BB. Other than that, this is what I run. So the normal flags, make sure you don't detonate, improve your fire chance, improve your concealment by, if you're fighting other cruisers, especially cruisers that have longer range than you might want just want to go stealth. So if you're on fire, that makes it hard. So decrease the fire time, improve your heal capability, improve your speed, and improve the real time of all your consumables, because you do have quite a lot of them. And then just some economic flags and some special flags. This doesn't really matter, so there's no point. Yeah, I think that's it in terms of how I prepare the ship, right? Am I missing something?
Okay. I think you're good.
Yeah. I have.
Anybody, by the way, everybody can ask a question anytime. Like, just jump in. So don't feel like I gotta wait till the end. You can, if you catch something, just ask.
I got a question, Cap. Is it very important for a Des Moines player to have some teammates in a division to assist? Because I find out when I play Des Moines, especially in this current meta, in randoms, it's very difficult to do what a Des Moines is supposed to do. Not including, I'm not talking about when CVs are in the game, but just random games without CVs. Is it important to div up so you can get more damage and have maybe some spotting and some support with you as you push into the cap?
It definitely helps, especially nowadays. Like maybe a year ago, the Des Moines was a ship that you could easily play solo and carry the socks out of any game. Nowadays, the Des Moines has been power crept a lot. It can be quite hard to carry a game nowadays because you lack the range, because everyone is just hiding away in their spawns, because you're overmatched by almost every BB. So it can be quite tricky. So yeah, if you're playing it in the current meta, I would definitely recommend that if you want to play Des Moines, you go with a buddy. If you're playing CBs, you should always rely on the people you're playing with, and that's where the Des Moines really shines nowadays. It's when you have a team that you can rely on, so that you can just focus on doing your job and not worry about having a flank of the map completely collapsing and your previously safe position no longer being safe because there's people shooting you from behind the island that was supposed to be covering you because your lines are completely overrun. So, but yeah, good question. It definitely helps to have someone else backing you up nowadays.
I got a quick question for you. What's your take on the Salem?
So, I don't have Asylum. Biggest reason is because I'm a poor NOCAP member. I don't have a lot of coal to spend around, and because I always had the Des Moines and I like the Des Moines, most of the times I still prefer Des Moines over Asylum. The main advantages that you have are the longer radar range, because Salem has 8.5 and you have 10. So especially because they have the same concealment, right? So 8.5 makes like an over 2 kilometer gap where you can't radar what's spotting you, which is massive. It also might not allow you to reach the edge of two caps if you're placed in an island between the two caps. And you also don't have the legendary mod, and I like the legendary mod a lot. On the Salem favor, you have essentially the better heal, like much better heal. If you are nose in fighting a Salem on a Des Moines, you lose, like it's insta lose, because the guy can just heal so much more than what you can, unless he's a complete potato. But like if the guy knows what he's doing, it's lost. And because you don't have legendary mod, you instantly go to range mod, which allows you to be more of a pain in the ass to BBs that are trying to stay away from the caps. But all in all, I would still go with Des Moines. If I had the Salem, which I don't, but if I could choose between the two, I would still go with Des Moines like 8 out of 10 times. But might just be being a boomer.
I second that. I actually second that opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
So even with the power creep that's gone on, would you still choose Des Moines? You know, maybe the difference between the ships has shrunk, but is Des Moines still one of the better ships in the game to use?
Competitively, if you've been following the competitive scene, not really. There's a big preference for the Russian cruisers, as everyone knows. And because they have longer radars, they are more well armored, so it puts them at a competitive advantage there.
Okay.
But as like a heavy cruiser, I still like it. I mean, it's, as I said in the beginning, my favorite ship in the game. I really love how it plays. So personally, even though it's been power crept, I'd still try to take it for a spin every now and then. But it might not be a very forgiving ship, especially with like thunderers and everything else that you have in the game nowadays. That just punishes you very hardly, very severely. It does make a better case, especially the range part with the current meta, to go for Salem instead, and because it's more forgiving for errors because you can heal more. So when I said 8 out of 10, it's because maybe a year ago I would have said 95% of the times I would take a Des Moines. So 8 out of 10 is already like the improved ratio.
Okay.
All right, so just as a quick look into my CB expertise, I'm gonna ask Raish to join me in a BB where I'll show positions on 2 maps that are really, really important. If you're ever, like, I don't know if the map is gonna change, but if you're ever on this map, you need to know about this island and how to approach it and how to play it. So that's why I'm going to put it there, and I want to show you this island. Can you see my cursor, by the way, or is it the same thing that you can't see the cursor?
Yeah, we can
not see the cursor.
No cursor. Okay. If I put 1v1, can I still invite bots, or do I need to put more people so that I can have bots?
Need to put more.
Yep.
All right, so I'll put 2-2, and
I think I'll have a problem spotting you on the islands.
yeah, I'm not planning on you spotting me.
Oh.
I just want the bots. I just want the bots so that the bots can spot you. How do I
Oh,
add bots?
thanks.
Yes.
Bring a CV then. A CV bot, and I'll turn off AA.
Ah, yes, that's very good. Bot is
Like a
not
tier 3, so at least I don't die. A tier 4, I mean.
AI level high. And what's the ship? What's the ship? I'll give you like a US so that you don't get it like AP'd or anything like that. They changed this shit to choose. I mean, can it be Lexington, or do you want something softer? Because if
Or you
not,
can
you're
bring
just
silver
gonna
that
shred.
just bots me with a CV.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
thinking
sure.
you're gonna be shredded, right?
No,
I
silver
won't
just
drop
spots
him.
me with the CV. Yeah, I won't drop.
Okay, yeah, silver if you can join them.
Yeah,
Cool.
sure.
Ideally, this wouldn't be a CV spotting. It would either be someone else on your team, mostly a BB who would be behind you, like offering you cover from behind you, or some other team member. But
You can do that with a DD if you want.
I mean, whatever you prefer. Just can you find the room?
Logging in.
I feel like I'm in the dentist office with the music that's playing on like in the game.
Yeah, I have. Do you want me to turn it down? Is it like too loud?
No, it's not too loud.
Oh, I don't actually have volume on it. You actually play with music a bit, though.
I do.
No, it's taking ages to log in for some reason.
Typical silver.
Yeah. It's not me, the problem for sure. There you go.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure your Ryzen 9 is too weak.
Yes.
Should have got it Intel.
No.
There you go.
You can just choose whatever. Yeah. Oh, FDR.
Oh, then
Okay.
I don't even need to turn off the AA.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. I hope this is north spawn. We'll see.
It is.
It is. Not on all maps, but most, yes.
Okay, so the island I'm gonna go to is the island just north. I don't know why this. I probably chose the wrong thing. It should have been tournaments anyway. But what the cap that matters is the cap is the C cap, where I want to show you the island. It's the island just north of the center of C. which might seem like a very unprotected island because it's so narrow, but if you approach it the right way, it's actually going to be really, really safe and give you excellent cover if the enemy team is only has one BB, or if the BB is on the seaside. So first thing that I want to mention is in a normal CV game, there wouldn't be any CV, so you can just approach this relatively safe. And whenever you approach islands, okay, so this is just generic, not even Des Moines, but this is generic cap contesting island approach play. You never go like in a cruiser, in a DD, you might. In a cruiser, you never go straight. So I will not even pass through that square, almost, like maybe in the top corner, but almost nothing. And you approach the cap as vertically, so to say, as possible. Thanks for the stream snipe, but you missed. So I'm going to approach as vertically as possible so that the island that I want to go to gives me as much cover as it can. Also, make good use of the circles in your map, especially if you're playing something that has a bit more like higher detectability. If you're having like a Moskva or something, make sure that your detectability does not go over the cap, because if there's a DD approaching it, you don't want to be spotted on your way into the island. So just try to use the island for as much cover as possible when you're playing it, when you're playing for the island. Another thing I should have done is just switch the turrets around, because I already know that I'm going to be playing the island this way. So now I'm essentially there. I make my move onto the island. Yes, Reis. If you delete me, it was going to be funny.
Oh, it's actually close.
It's getting closer, yes.
Silver's being mean to me.
Yes. So the main reason why you can only play this island if there's only one BB is because if you have a BB here and if you have a BB over there or over there, this island is not safe because you can't hide from both of them at the same time. However, if there's only one BB and if either he's to focus on that side or if he's here, this island is really, really safe. And as you can see, I'm essentially grinding against the island. Like if you're playing an island cruiser, you need to be this close. If you're not this close, you're too far away. And what I want to show is that you can come here and you can farm Reis completely unspotted. So when you're playing CBs, this is a really key thing, is for you to not be spotted when you're farming whatever is spotted near the cap. Because by doing this, he can't fight against me and he needs to move away. If he doesn't move away, I'm just going to be putting fires on him. My other team members are going to be helping, are going to be putting other fires, are going to be like putting pressure on him. And that's just making him move. And even if I have someone else, like let's say that there's an enemy cruiser here, you'll see that this position is actually safe, because if I move here, I'm this here, and you see where my funnel is, and this, he can't see me. Like he cannot see me at all here. I can see him with my front turrets, but like if he's here, I would be spotted right now. But as soon as I reverse, and I'm reversing now, and I can't reverse much because my rear is already hitting the island, but here I'm not spotted. Like even if there's something here and the nose of the ship is sticking out behind the island or beyond the island, but he cannot see me because he cannot see the midships. That's how spotting works, right? And if you look at my left, even if they rush something on this side, which is a very common play, because I'm so close to the island, it's very unlikely that they will be able to lob the shells. And even if they do, I can always just go a little bit forward, use more of this taller part of the island, and just play with my acceleration backwards and forwards to make sure that I'm in the safest position possible so that nothing from the 10 line can shoot me, nothing from in front can shoot me. And if I'm here and I'm unspotted, like this should already be enough for me to be unspotted, then nothing would be able to shoot me from here as well. The only thing I need to worry about, is there an enemy radar? Like, do they have someone here maybe who's radaring me or someone there, right? So this is one of the most important islands on this map, and it really shows the basics of playing Des Moines to cap contest and to cap control. And I mean, the south part of the island of the map is not as strong. Like, I'm just going to quickly move there. It's not as strong because the shape of the island is a lot worse. So if you play DM a lot, or if you play island cruisers a lot, you'll get familiar with the islands on the map where you can do some sorts of plays, and the ones where you cannot. And in this case is a very clear case where the North Island is a lot better than the South Island. Hi, Reish.
Silver's being mean again.
$50K with 2 drops.
Nice seat.
No, 3 pence.
Oof. Yeah, so this is welcome to playing Des Moines in the open, especially at 10 kilometers from Ayama.
Or any ship over 420s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Against the Montana, you can actually do quite a silly play, which is like you show them maybe this amount of broadside, and if they're a potato, I'm shooting on my secondaries. Yes, set fires on him. If the guy is a potato, then he is going to. Thank you. Balanced. You might kill me with this. Oh no. Okay.
I was trying to hit the belt, but yeah. So I still got 3 ricochets there. If I was the Montana, I would have gotten about 5K tops.
Yeah, but the Montana wouldn't shoot there.
If the guy's a potato, in competitive, I wouldn't expect someone to do that. In this side of the map, just to quickly show, I don't tend to play the left side of this cap because, hang on, as you can see, like you can't reverse as easily as in the other one because your rear of the ship is just reversed there, and you can't move as easily, and it's even worse protection from someone shooting you in the middle than this one. So I tend to come to this side of the map, where by playing with the spotting being in the mid of the ship, I can actually just okay, this is not the right approach, but I can just shoot with the front turrets. This is something that I was doing on the other island, but in this position it has to be a bit more obvious, because if I'm raiding something, let's say I'm raiding a ship, I come around this island and I radar something. They're usually playing like around here. I would need to go like a little bit forward, but if this section is empty and there's a DD there, I can shoot the DD unspotted because this island is covering the mid part of the ship and the shells still make it past. So this is why I prefer to play this side of the island. You do need to be a bit more careful because you don't have any cover from the 10 line. So many times you need to kind of fall back, you need to go stealth. And it does happen that if they push here, you're just completely forget about everything else. You need to be very careful when you reverse here about cross shots from a BB around here, because as you see, I was very exposed. Like a Yama could easily lob that over the island and delete me. So ideally, I would be closer to the island again. Like the closer you are to the island, the better. And if something rushes through here, you just completely ignore the cap, and you need to protect your flank, and you just take full advantage of the Des Moines firepower and DPM by just shooting with the two front turrets, whatever comes here, and if needed, you angle a little bit more. You can also use your back turrets.
Sorry, I was testing the bug.
One thing I'd like, Captain. One thing I'd like to point out: if you have a Des Moines and you haven't played with the legendary, I would definitely recommend spending some time to practice, because when you have that spicy acceleration, you can hit that button a little too much, and next thing you know, you're out in the middle of the water, and you're like, "Oh man, what did I just do?" So,
like even your quarter speed, the acceleration is pretty insane, and for you to stop, it does take a little bit. Like it used to be instantaneous before the nerf, but it does take a little bit. So whenever I'm doing like island moves, I very rarely go beyond a quarter. If I go to a half, like you can see that half speed, I'm already like almost at 20 knots. And for me to stop here, like just see how long it takes me for me to stop. If I'm playing next to an island, I would be completely exposed right now. And that's why, like, when I was doing this maneuver here, I wasn't paying that much attention, of course. I wasn't really playing, like, competitively. But you need to time your acceleration and you're moving forward very, very carefully. I haven't played the Des Moines in a while because, as we've mentioned before, it's a bit out of the meta. Yeah, like, just do exactly that. You make sure you practice your acceleration and your reverse between like around islands before you really commit to playing competitive with it.
Oh wait, you went to port?
Yeah, go to port. I just want to quickly show because let me check how we're doing on time. Yeah, we're halfway through. Let me just check one more map, which is Warrior's Path. And
one thing that should be stated is that Des Moines is possibly one of the most, how should I say, picky ships in terms of maps and positioning.
Yeah. Like, that's why I have these maps where I know if I spawn on this map, which island I'm going to play. Because I know that if I'm not at that island, then probably I'm going to be worse off than if I was at the island I want to play. Here, I want to go north. Yeah, I won't go south because it's going to take too much time, but I want to show you the north position on the ACAP. This was a nice bug that I had. I was a submarine when I got in the battle. I could see under the waves.
I've seen that before.
All right, so I'm going to be playing the D3, so the island on D3. You don't need to worry as much with the approach on the island on this map because you do have quite a lot of islands to cover your approach, so it's not as prone to making an error. But still, always keep in mind when you're doing that. If I spawn on a random map, on a random battle on this map, if I spawn next to the A side, I will always go for that island. If I spawn on the C side, I most likely will go to this island there, or the equivalent side. If I spawn anywhere in the middle, I'm not very happy because there's no real good islands there. So if I can, I'll move to one of the flanks. If not, I'll just adapt and improve, adapt, overcome, or improvise, adapt, overcome, whatever it is, the meme. But yeah, just do that. Don't go in between. Like, don't go in between these islands. Always take the safer route if you're approaching an island. If you go in between and they have a DD rushing the cap from this side and you're caught, you're very, very exposed to whatever might spot you and whatever might shoot at you. And if you need to disengage, to dodge or to whatever, if you need to turn your ship, it's going to take you even longer to get to the island, and by then it might be too late, and the enemy might already have cap control, which, if you're playing competitively, you never want that to happen, because of course you will run into issues that your hand is forced to make a move if the enemy already has cap control. In terms of dodging, you just do the usual. You brake, you turn either in or out, you change your trajectory. You don't need to like maybe make a full turn. Maybe you can like just go half and then you accelerate again. Like for this, I didn't even have to brake. Like I could have just turned the ship and it would have been fine. And we get to this island. This island is really, really good. I really like it. South Island is trash because you're super, super exposed. I don't have time. I want to play some random battles, so we won't go into too much detail on that. But be really, really careful if you're playing on the south side because cover is really bad. If you're here playing on the left side of the map, you are shot. You are easily spotted by ADD here. And you can't commit forward because if you commit forward, there's no forward cover from whatever is on this side, so you just get farmed. If you reverse, you're going to have an enemy ship there that's going to try to damage you. As usual, play close to the island. Yeah, you actually hit me like an overrun. If you can, play close to the island because this might happen. So as close as you can, always. Whenever you move forward, always turn the ship so that you make the contour of the island. Don't gain distance between you and the island at any time.
That island is very vulnerable from that position there. I can't ping.
Which island?
I can't ping on the minimap again. G6, if they put a BB somewhere there, that island is very vulnerable.
Yes, yeah, so from here, it's the same thing. If you're here, someone shoots it from here. If you're here, someone shoots it from there. Essentially mirrored. It's just that this island actually grants you some cover. And again, you move forward. Like I'm going to exemplify. Like I'm going half speed, and I'm going to try to brake, and you're going to see where I'm going to stop. If I'm being spotted, and Rage has the salvo ready, like I'm even going to shoot so that he can see me. And if he shoots. If he shoots, I'm completely screwed here. Yeah, but like this is how easy it is to make a mistake within Des Moines. You need to be super careful. Like I'm going to try to reverse max speed. He might still hit me. I was lucky. Yeah, and we have like. Typical play, if they're rushing here, you can support, you fire your guns, you reverse if they push a lot, always reversing and going around the island, so using the Q so that you don't need to worry about the rudder, and you're always going as close to the island as you can. The more they push, the more you reverse around the island, and you just go like ring around the rows, always firing the front guns. It's very rare for the Des Moines to use the back guns, just because you need to use islands and you need to minimize your profile as much as possible. So just keep shooting, just keep using your turrets, adjust if you see some shots are being blocked, adjust a little bit, just a tap. The acceleration on this is so good that if you look at the speed indicator, I'm just doing a tap on the quarter and I go back and I'm almost already like at the max of the quarter, which is like 8 something. So it literally just taps and you adjust the position around the island. And I think we can move to some randoms now, if there's no other questions.
You guys can div up if you want.
Yeah, it might be better so that I don't sacrifice my win rate in the current meta.
Yes. I have a question.
Yes.
What about mountain range? Are there any good islands on that?
Let me see what's
on the contested cap. Yeah.
I need to find the map. I don't know all of them by heart.
On the eastern side, there's 2 islands, and that's basically it.
Yeah, on the eastern side, you play like the bigger ones. So you have 2 bigger islands on the west side of the sea cap, and you play behind those. Typically, you look into the 9-10 line around those islands so that you can cover the cap and cover whichever plays are being made on the 9-10 to get control of the cap. So you're there, and your whole job is to hold down the fort, essentially. Like you want to make sure that that cap doesn't disappear.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So shall we div up, fellas?
Wanna do randoms?
Yes. Are you playing Monty?
Yeah, you can pick what I bring.
No, I mean just pick whatever you want. Let's play
you
random
want
as if it was.
Right.
I don't need a DD.
For the cap contesting.
Somebody has to soak up the torpedoes.
Hey!
Yes, take that ink, please. Take that ink.
Just choose whatever you want. Choose whatever you want.
Switch to random, by the way.
Yes. Let's do divs in co-ops.
Hey, it's your fault. We're in training rooms.
We want to make sure we win those, right? Typical silver play. I play Des Moines with limited range, and he plays long range BBs, and he just kills everyone before I can even shoot them. But yeah, it's fine. We'll see how it goes.
It's one of the few ships that can actually fight back to Thunders, against Thunders. You still die, but at least you fight back a bit.
Where are you taking, Reich?
I was just picking a ship.
There. Okay. Let's go.
Wait. I actually forgot to master the captain, so he was with 0 points.
He said wait, and he had the battle button.
Oh.
Yes. Typical Reich.
I get bullied.
Everywhere. NA side, EU side.
You guys will get to see the difference in EU. It's a little different.
We get focused, just so you know.
Yes, we have NOCAP love. Looking at this, Vermont. This can overmatch me, right? I think you can.
For the NA players, this is like if you see an 07 for them on the EU server. It's as if they're like 07 on our server, so it's the same thing. So just
I love killing those guys.
Yep, that's
what happens here.
Or
we have
KIA ones,
we have a clan bonus. It's called
especially when you see 3 of them.
The KIA guys are the best to kill because they instantly rage in all chat.
Where do you want to go? I'm not sure if I'll go like to the one line where we typically play in
It's actually decent matchmaking.
This map's actually bad for you, for the most.
Yes. It is. So looking at the teams, what am I worried about? I'm worried about the Vermont, the Thunderer. That's it. I can't do shit to the Petro. It's going to take me ages to kill the Petro. Smolensk can spam me if I'm really far away. DD's not too much of a concern. Akizuki can be a bit of a nuisance, but yeah. I'm not going to be playing for C. It's too exposed. I could play for maybe this island here, but I won't, because if I was in the Russian cruiser, I would have full radar control for C, so I could help Rage. But right now, I don't, so I won't be playing that. I am going to be playing the one line, which is a very typical play for CBs, because it usually ends up with 1 or even 2 Des Moines / Salems rushing each other and then may the best RNG win, kind of. I hope I'll have something to shoot at. We'll see. Because it's very far away from everything. So Alsace is here. Alsace is good for me because I can pen essentially the whole ship. Petro is a pain, as I've talked about before. Our lightning is caught in the Petro radar. I'm not going to open up on the Oster because...
I have a friend.
Aki?
Are you smoking? No.
No, he's just slowing down.
Oh, come on, Balti. Come on. Just go, Balti. Thank you.
2 hits.
Yeah, our lightning is nearly dead already.
A typical EU player.
How he's shooting? Like, how is he spotted? Because the Petro radar is not this long. I don't even know.
He's on fire still.
Okay, maybe the gameplay on EU isn't that much different than NA.
You have potatoes on both sides. I don't know what this guy is doing. I really don't know. So it seems like I have some action here. So I have a full tier 9 GB to farm. I have an Ibuki. I have a Petro.
That shoots AP, by the way.
Sorry?
Ibuki is spamming AP.
Oh, nice. If I know Zin, he can't do anything to me. I'm detected, so the Oster is here. I know. Also because based on RPF and based on the island positioning. There we go. So if my team wakes up and actually starts shooting the guy, I might be a team player and radar him once the Balti radar ends.
The reboot is just straight lining.
So I get close to the island.
Oh well.
Have the Alsace over there. The Oster is already outside of range. I need to be careful with this. When I reverse, I'm already turning the rudder to the other side so that I get closer to the island. I'm very exposed, like this is me not playing the ship in a while. Because if there were an enemy paying attention to me, I could have gotten blapped over there. I'm using the island for my advantage. The Petro is doing some damage, but nothing to be too worried about. I also have an FDG coming this way, which is good.
Got kit.
Silver is farming as usual.
I'm missing so much. I'm just not used to the new graphical effects.
There's someone else. Oh, it's Balti.
Notice how I'm always moving around, always looking between my shots. It's only 5 seconds, but still, it's good 5 seconds that I can use to take a look at things. This Petro is annoying me, but there's nothing I can really do right now. I'm gonna try to shoot at the FTG using the cover from the island. I have broadside. So you saw, like right now I shot at the guy and I'm not spotted because I used the island for cover. He's angling in, so I'm switching, 1 second reload. I shoot. Now I'm gonna farm this guy as much as silver allows me to. I can reverse a little bit more, try to go stealth. I'm not gonna go stealth because of the Oster that's probably spotting me.
Any idea where he is?
He's to the
Mr.
right of
Gotland is still somewhere around. Spotted him.
Yeah, he's around here. Oh, nice. Not a yoink. Okay. Lenin's over there. He's just stopping. He shot me. I'm gonna make use of my acceleration to dodge these shells. You see, I just went full speed forward. He missed. Oster is still here, outside of my radar range. Okay, there's the Oster.
He's doing the gamer turn.
Yeah, he's doing the gamer turn. I also switched to EP. I break because I think he's about to shoot me. I get him in the next salvo, I think, unless the heal saves him. And I'm just bouncing because it's a Lenin.
Ooh, multi.
I dodge. Again, acceleration mod. Very important. The Petra is shooting me. I might get Citadel here. I'm not sure what that was. I need the Lenin dead as soon as possible. Petra is not doing anything to me. The Balti made a full turn. I couldn't punish because I was distracted. And Lenin is dead.
Might be able to punish Petra is showing too much side.
Let's see. I think he's gonna move forward. I give a little bit. Yeah, he's accelerating again. Because it's a Petra, I got overpans and non-pans.
For overpans, yeah.
I heal.
Thank you.
Okay, so he can't lob here, so I'll use this moment to focus the Balti, because the Balti doesn't have a heal, so everything I do to him is permanent. I'm gonna try to dodge these. Thanks to the acceleration mod, I was able to dodge. If without it, I wouldn't have. Or the legendary mod, I should say. I also use it to dodge one salve of the Balti because he led too much. And I'm gonna try to make a little bit of a gamer turn here. Hope he don't get too much. Okay, he got a couple of good salvos on me. I repair the fire. I accelerate, trying to dodge this. Okay, I'm safe. Very important. You're playing at Des Moines. I don't have almost any damage done, but we are pushing this away and we're gonna get B cap. If you can B raise, you can get a cap for free.
I was blocking them from coming down.
I went to
Game is actually close. Not that.
Fire on Petro.
I am located. Othergotland might be close to me.
There's an Oster shooting that I can't spot somehow, which is interesting.
Shooting where?
In the middle of the open, so I don't know how the fuck I'm not spotting him. Trying to use my AP to punish this Balti, but the guy is not a complete potato. He's actually getting my turrets, which sucks.
Which one do you want help with?
Balti first. He's easier to kill, and if he shoots AG now, I'm dead. Which he is, because he saw I repaired for the turret. Now I'm just gonna play with my acceleration. Got a fire on Balti. Now I just shoot AP, should be the finishing salvo. Oh, he's turning in, so might not. Yeah. Okay, let's just use AG for consistency.
Spotted, Oster.
I can't shoot. I need to finish.
I am turning guns.
I got him.
Nice. Okay, bot is dead.
Hey! Yoinker.
Nice.
Well,
I'm gonna play just around the island. Gonna try to help Silver and Reich with the Petra. Yeah, but I'm the one probably closest to dying, so I'm just gonna go stealth now. Just gonna turn
he
the
went
ship.
stealth just because I'm looking at him.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna get in the cap. I'm gonna get B. I'm gonna get my last heal off. I mean, I don't need to because I have AR, so I'm gonna hold on to it actually. I'm gonna rotate to this island, see what I can do from there.
5 weapons on the Petra again.
Yeah.
Always spot Petra.
I won't help you because he will win the fight against me. I'm too low HP.
I'm pretty sure I killed Thunder. Oh, we radared. Formal radar.
Like if Silver gets a nice blap on the Petra, I help. If not, I'm just gonna go stealth.
Doubt. It's too far away. It's not consistent.
That Smolensk though is annoying.
You know that you're gonna get into the radar. Are you ready to be
I got radared.
Okay, okay.
It's already over.
I'm just getting the cap. And sharing the windows.
Oh yeah. Thunder, forgot about him.
Good job on the Thunder.
Trying to get an angle on the Petra.
Yeah, go. I'll get the cap and gonna rotate here. So I'm opening the angle now with Silver because Silver is gonna go this way to get shit at him. So I'm turning back to the J line so that after I finish capping, I can use this island. Try not to leave the cap.
He's just spot tanking me.
Yeah.
1 minute 40. He's doing a gamer turn.
He stopped the turn. Nice.
8 shell hits 7 overpins. 1 bounce.
Fire on Petra.
I might hit a torp.
Okay, so now I'm doing typical. Nice. I'm doing typical Des Moines play, which is just lobbing stuff over an island. Double fire. He repaired.
Yes,
repaired.
You killed him, right?
Kuznetsov.
Yeah, Kuznetsov. Yeah, similar enough.
Yeah, I kill. Me or Reish killed the guy, don't worry.
Okay, nice.
So, not an amazing game, but given the current meta, 91k with 3 kills under the mine, it's not too bad. I have 109,000 average damage on this, so it's a little bit under average, but with the kills, the PR is probably going to be compensated for.
I think the other point here too is that the ACAP was never under any threat because you guys had complete control over it. So that's
I mean the entire team pushed very aggressively here. We had the Balti, we had the Slava, we had the poor little Lightning that didn't really know what he was doing, but yeah, our team made a very strong push. The enemy team rotated on the northern flank around D. But in the end, after we completed this flank, we rotated to the middle to secure the center of the game, of the map where the game is going to be decided. So,
I want to be respectful of your clan battle start time on the EU server. There's 18 minutes left, so I'm not sure. I don't really think you have a chance at another game without threatening that. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, we can do one.
Yeah,
we can do one more, and then even if they need to go and start clan battles, I can still stay around for some Q&A if there's any more questions.
Probably the game gonna last like 10 minutes. That's the average nowadays.
Yeah, this was above average, right?
Yep.
How much was this? Almost 16 minutes for a game. It's not bad nowadays. Okay, yeah, if anyone was interested, I'm third on the team. Austin. Who's flexing now? Yeah.
I do like those purple tags, just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Looks fancy, right? I think we are second or even first on EU right now.
First.
Yeah, first on EU right now. So
I think it's second global.
Yeah, second global behind some NA guys, I think. Yeah, not a bad start of the season.
Actually, third. Asia played, and they got ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
If you want to flex for real, then tell them that Bravo is also a second on you.
Really?
Yes. At least last time, although we were second with Bravo.
That's a flex.
This map I like to play next to B in F4. So like F4, G4, lobbing shells over that channel between the gap between the two islands to whatever is going down on the I-J lines. And at the same time, I can provide radar for B and also a radar for A. So it's a very strong position to put the DM in. Luckily, they only have a tier 8 CV, so even though I'm going to be stationary, I hope that I'm not going to be too shredded.
I also have amazing A on the Austin, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Not a question on the Des Moines, but how do you like the Austin race?
It's extremely fun, but you're basically shooting yourself in the foot by playing it.
The turrets look like frogs.
Pepe turrets?
Yeah, they are. Aren't they, Captain?
Yes. I don't think this map has ever been in CVs, but if it were, I wouldn't
30k. 30k on the CV.
Nice. But if it were on CVs, I wouldn't be approaching the island from here because in this area, I'm already being spotted if they put a DD there. So I'm doing this because this is randoms and I'm not expecting any extremely good gameplay from the enemy team. They're seemingly abandoning A, so I'm actually going to play for the middle of the map. But yeah, if I was playing competitive, I would be approaching always perpendicular to the islands, perpendicular to the cap, so that I minimize the time I would be exposed.
Here comes the CV.
Yeah, he's mad that I shot him.
Look at this map positioning that they have. Holy cow.
It's great. I mean,
yeah, that's standard EU.
Yeah, that's Dead Eye on EU.
Oh, that's your AA. I was like, are you shooting me? I was like, are you shooting me? And it's your AA.
And it's over.
I got 2 of them. Everyone shoots. Look at this. Oh, Mogami, what are you doing, my friend?
It's gonna be a fast game.
So I need to reverse right now because I'm fighting Hindenburgs, and Hindenburgs at this range clearly outgun me. So I need to reverse behind this island. I was maybe a bit too greedy. I'm coming here.
Can you radar, Capitan?
Ooh, this is yeah, great.
Oh,
that was Masa and Musashi shooting me. That devastated me. Hindenburg just was dumping on me, and this is nowadays gameplay on DM because, or like what you can typically expect. Because can I go to Reich? Thanks. Because if we look at the enemy position, they're super far away from the caps. I was almost not in range of them, and still the overmatch and the superior firepower of the Hindenburg at long range just completely shredded me. And I have a 6k game, which is amazing.
Yep.
Like, you saw how I was being shot by every single one of those ships in the middle square. I tried to reverse behind the island. I needed to turn the ship so that I would contour the island, but because it's not really tall, I just got blapped. That's it. In the meantime, if anyone has questions, feel free to pop them now.
So are you going to start working something like the Petro for clan battles as a radar cruiser?
Yeah, we are kind of known for the guys that use Petro in EU.
I mean, the first season with aircraft carriers, we were playing essentially.
There was no Petro though.
Yeah, but it was full Stalin, and we didn't play Des Moines on that season. And the season after,
he tried. Capitan really tried, but
I tried at the beginning, but I just had to give up. It's just out of the meta nowadays. It's essentially like what Silver said. By playing it, Silver said it for the Austin, but by playing Des Moines in randoms nowadays, I'm shooting myself in the foot. And yeah, so nowadays we are mostly Stalins. If not Stalins, then it's Petros. If not Petro, because maybe it's banned, then we typically go Moskva. So a lot of Russian cruisers nowadays.
Okay, thank you.
Is he gonna miss that drop?
Amazing.
Amazing. Yama, the best ship in maneuverability.
Well, to be honest, propulsion mod helps a lot on BBs.
So the key takeaways for this today is not necessarily the Des Moines, because as this battle is a perfect example of, it can be can be very difficult to have a good game nowadays in the Des Moines. But what we also see is, or what I also wanted to show was key positions in competitive maps where you might need to play around an island and how to typically play around an island. This was not the best example because, as I said in the beginning, I would prefer to be shooting where Reis is. The problem is that no one in the enemy team was going there and I don't have the range for it, so I turned to the middle. When I turned to the middle, my positioning was not the best because, as you can see, the islands are not very tall, which means that they can lob over them. And with overmatch from Musashi, and the other concentrated fire, it didn't go very well for me.
Well, basically, we are losing the game, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We still have double caps. I don't think they will contest A for the meantime. I think Hindenburg might go there. Kremlin's going to try to go for the middle, but if he goes there, no one can stop him. Like, we can reset, but no one can stop. Palmer is definitely not going to be the one stopping him.
So the way you played your Des Moines, could you play any cruiser that way? It would seem so, because you're poking your nose just out but keeping the midsection of your ship from being spotted. And even if you have a low arc trajectory, it would still work the same. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's even when we play like the other ships nowadays, like the Petro, the Stalin, or the Moskva, the same fundamentals apply when you're playing around islands. You try to keep the midships covered. You try to only expose the nose. If you can use an island in such a way that you can fire the front turrets and still be stealth, then do so, because it's the safest way to do it.
Oh, bon voyage.
The benefit of the Des Moines is the legendary mod, though, right?
Yeah, yes. I like the Des Moines because it has very good maneuverability. If I'm used to it, like if I've been playing a full season with it, I wouldn't be making some of these positioning mistakes. To be honest, I haven't played it that often nowadays because of the meta. But yeah, just some key highlights on how to play.
I can't ping minimap anymore this patch for some reason. I can't ping at all the map.
You're going to lose this game because Mogami is not being resetted by CV, who is going for Alaska.
Pommern is going to suicide into the Kremlin.
The NA Pommern players do the same thing as the EU Pommern players do the same thing as they do in NA. Got it.
Mm-hmm. A very typical Pommern player.
Pommern Emilio.
Well, Kremlin is doing the staying full broadside, so Pommern might have a chance.
I mean, you might have a chance to blap.
I don't know if he's going. No, he's going backwards.
I have Cyclone, right? You can see him. I can. Let's see how close.
Ah, god damn it.
2 shatters, 2 overpens, typical.
You hit like literally the middle of the hole. I don't know how that's an overpen. Our Musashi on the north flank is 2k and burning, so he's dead. They're pushing into our spawn. We lost 2 caps, and there's nothing we can do. If I was alive, with the radar that allows me to shoot people not being spotted in the Cyclone, and also we would have control of A if I was there, but oh well. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, it happens. Is Hindenburg going forward?
Let me see. Yes, but he's stopping. He's stopping there. Accelerating again. Turning into you.
He's gonna save the shot.
Oh, come on.
He's 10 kilometers from you. 9-9.
We have to save the shot for the Alaska.
Yeah, that's true. And Hindenburg is reversing right now behind the island, so you're also going to lose sight. Or lose the line of fire. Oof.
My problem is the CV will end up killing me. Oh god, there's a... Okay.
Musashi.
And I'm showing the cheek.
Are you?
I am. I need to be perfect Balwan or I get Citadel.
He just shot the nose for now. But yeah, in typical random battle fashion nowadays, you either carry or you lose.
It's not gonna end well for me. I'm actually not using propulsion.
Oh wow, the Pommern actually killed the Kremlin after he died, but still. Nice.
Now it's RNG based.
Next to you, Raj. Next to you.
It's gonna be RNG Fiesta against this Musashi.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in range.
The Hindenburg
oh shit.
Hindenburg is gonna pop up on your flank and APU.
Thank god this Musashi shooting my gun.
There's the Hinden, AP on your broadside. That's gonna be nice and quick.
Yeah, it's gonna be 10k per salvo at least.
Yeah. How did you kill a German battleship with?
Musashi is suiciding.
Gamer turn. Oh, back turret.
I think he reloads in time.
Yeah, I don't have reload at the moment. Nope.
Now, NA people can enjoy Silver, one of the best PB players in the game.
It was almost 300k. Sad.
Yeah. So you carried me as well.
Now we get to see the Austin.
Oh fuck!
Solo
I'm trapped. I'm trapped.
Austin
oh, wow.
between two Hindens and
yeah.
the CV in the air.
I was not expecting this guy on my side.
Okay, you got Austin confirmed.
Yep.
Try to eat some torps, guys.
I wish I had AP so
he
much.
Won't live long enough.
Why do you want AP? You do more damage with
VG buff Austin.
The only reason for you to use AP is if you can either Citadel or you can pen the armor with SAP. That's the two reasons. Otherwise you just get more damage with SCP.
No, don't have enough rotation.
F.
Sad game.
Yep.
We gotta jump there already.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Time is up.
Well, sorry for the not very interesting last time. Huh?
Your Q&A starts now, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, see ya.
Thanks for the demonstration.
Thank you for the help, guys.
Yes, thank you very much.
Definitely appreciated.
Yes, thanks for putting that on.
Oh, no problem. Any questions, or we'll let him shoot up to the EU Discord and he can go daka. All right. There's if you're talking right now, you're on. Oh, there goes Mowgli.
Oh no, I was just gonna say awesome job. Thanks for the yeah, thanks for putting it on.
Yeah, guys, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you
kindly.
I haven't set up the one for next month, but just keep your eye out. I posted in the usual places for everybody to come in. All right.
Any idea what's up for next month, or?
No. Is there any requests?
Small and Marceau?
Well, if we're going to do a Marceau, we would definitely want to bring Chat Bomb back. So let me, he's very high up on the top 100 list. So let me ask him if he's willing to do, I'm sure he will, but what time he can do a Marceau.
Sweet.
Sweet. Thank you. Good luck tonight in CBs, everybody.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend, everyone.
Thank you.